Welcome to our Innovation Forum for Peoplevox Summer Edition. My name is Xavier Bignon. I'm the Director of Product Management here at Descartes, and today we'll be speaking with Matt Thompson to learn more about what is coming out for the summer release of Peoplevox. Without further ado, let's jump in and go talk to Matt. All right, so I'm with Matt Thompson today. Matt is our product owner for Peoplevox. Matt, good to have you here.
Thanks very much. Good to be here.
So let's talk about Peoplevox and what's coming up. So I think you have some pretty exciting news to share with us.
Yeah, that's right. So we're working on a few different projects over the next couple of weeks and couple of months. Today, what I wanted to go through was three main projects that we've been working on. So we've got the update to the reporting module. We've also got the update to the dashboards module, which kind of ties into that a little bit as well. And then finally, we've got the new put away process, which you may have seen talked about on some of the release notes recently.
Awesome. So briefly, what did you choose to focus on this area this quarter?
So the reporting of the dashboards, a lot of that was to do with consistency. So as you'll have seen on the web application, we've been going through this process of trying to standardize and align the UI to be a consistent and common set of colors and processes so that it's easy to work with. And the reporting and the dashboards modules were on a totally separate styling at the time. So we've updated that. We're trying to bring those into line with the new styling. And also some of the elements of those screens we're able to reuse on some of the other functional improvements, such as in the put away process.
Awesome. So about the reporting on the dashboard, let's do a first dive into this. What's really new for our customers?
So there's a couple of main things and main drivers behind updating the reporting in the dashboards module. Number one, I mentioned earlier, that consistency of the experience. So you log into the application and you get this consistent experience throughout the entire thing. And number two is speeding up the rate at which we can provide new functionality and deliver on new features. And the reporting of the dashboards modules are areas that have historically held us back a little bit in that regard. So by updating these to use this new styling, we're able to leverage some of those UI elements that we've been developing there. We can take sections of those screens and use them in other parts of the application, and we can start to build on this and deliver new functionality going forward. Awesome.
So out of curiosity, do you have any previews that you could give us?
Yeah, you bet. So we have the reporting module available that I can demonstrate here. We're still working on the dashboard side of things, so that's likely to come a little bit further down the line, but we're getting pretty close to that. So I'll show you what we have for the report so far. So this is the new reporting module. As you can see, it's broadly similar in terms of the layout to many of the other screens that you'll have seen on the web application previously. On the left-hand side, you can see it's listed here as reports beta. Over time, once we get some feedback on how people are using this and we get more comfortable that it's satisfying all of the requirements that people are looking for from it, we'll move the older version into legacy mode, and this will become the new default that everybody uses. But you can see here, it maintains most of the same functionality that we have on the old version of the reporting module. So we have the three sections that list the different types of reports that we support. We have My Reports, so these are reports that you created yourself. They're not necessarily shared with anyone else. We have the Shared Reports, which are typically things that other users have shared with you. And then the System Reports are all of the default reports that we provide to every user that come as standard with the system. And if we take a look at one of these, for example, let's drill into one of the dispatch reports. You can see here again the basic layout of the screen is pretty familiar. It's kind of a cross between some of the existing screens that you've seen around locations and the old reporting process. So we have these tabs which already existed on the previous version, where we have the name of the report up here. We have the ability to create a filter so that you can define what sort of data you want to get back on this. And also, we've slightly improved the way you select the columns on the report. So now, for example, you can search for specific things and specific columns right up here from within this list. So no more having to press Control F to search through the list to find the column that you're looking for. In terms of functionality, everything here is basically the same as it was before. We're not removing any functionality as part of this update. We're looking to try and maintain parity with what we have previously, just reskin it, make it look a little bit nicer, and give us a good foundation that we can build on going forwards for future enhancements.
Awesome. It really looks simple to use, and I really like the approach of bringing everything back into a common experience to simplify the user experience and the accessibility of the data.
Mm-hmm.
Great update here on the report and dashboard. Let's talk about the second big ticket item of the release you have, put away advanced action creations. So can you tell me more about why did you decide to go with this topic this quarter?
Yeah, sure. So one of the big benefits that we're seeing from put away is the ability to automate a little bit more. So taking knowledge out of people's heads in the warehouse and formalizing that so that, when you onboard new people, or if you have temporary seasonal staff over peak periods, you're able to leverage that knowledge about how people are putting away items in the warehouse without having to spend a lot of time training them up in the warehouse yourself. So what we really wanted to do was provide you with the ability to set up a consistent and formal way of putting away goods that works for your business, and something that you can control going forward that doesn't require you to change the way you operate to fit the standards of a business that potentially doesn't align well with yours. So our goal here is really to give you some initial samples or examples of how we think it could work well for you, and then give you the freedom to then be able to pick those up, change them, and adjust them to fit your business model.
Awesome. So bringing some intelligence in the put away process, but intelligence that is driven by the know-how of the warehouse users that know where things needs to go.
Exactly, yeah. And, a lot of different businesses will operate broadly in similar ways, but there'll be subtle differences between the way they put away goods. They'll have different inbound goods processes for things like returns compared to supplier deliveries. And those small changes can add up to pretty major time savings if you manage to get that right of goods in.
Great. Do you have any preview of this automation process that you've been working on?
Yeah, so I can show you a couple of things. So right now, what we've done is we've been focusing on the mobile component and the back-end framework to support those rules. So the mobile application is able to consume those rules, and if we set up those rules behind the scenes, the mobile application can direct users to the right locations based on those rules that we create. What we're working on right now is the configuration screens for the web application that will allow you to actually do that configuration yourself. So I can show you what those configuration screens will look like going forward, and then I can show you what the mobile device looks like currently with the work that we've completed. So these are the web app configuration screens that you'll see when you have the new put away module. So the idea here is that you'll configure a list of rules, and each one of these rules will handle a different scenario for putting away your goods. So you might have some goods which need to go to a photo shoot location, other goods that go to pick or go to bulk. Whatever your scenarios might be, the idea is that you'll set up one or more rules to handle each one of those. And here you can see we have this collection of rules with a sequence. And basically what we do is we just run down these from the top to the bottom, and we'll stop at the first rule that matches. So if you have a particular rule that looks at some property on your item, for example, maybe you've got your items tagged as fast movers or slow movers, we'll be able to set up a rule that looks at that tag on the item and then does something with that depending on what you configure the rule to do. So this screen here is essentially giving you an overview of the rules which you have in the system and gives you the ability to drill in, edit those rules, enable and disable them, and also to reorder them if you want to move them up and down in terms of priority.
Okay, that looks pretty easy to use and configure. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
what about the mobile side of things?
So on the mobile side, we have the pretty common consistent experience on the mobile here. We've got the put away beta option on the left-hand side. This is how you'll go in and start a new put away activity. So if you click on this, it'll give you the option to scan somewhere that you're going to be putting away from. And if we go ahead and grab a location barcode that we can put away from, you'll see the system goes away and looks up the location that you're trying to put away from. And what it's doing there is it's working out which items exist in that location. And when you click next, it'll go away. And for each item that is sitting in that location or in that container, it'll work out the best place that it thinks you should go and put that item. And all of that logic is driven by those rules that we just.
And the benefit for the mobile user is that it doesn't look like it's drastically different from how the put away process works today. So very easy to operate essentially once you have the directions.
Exactly, yeah. Our intent here is that really it's just a directed move. So anyone who's familiar with the move functionality already can simply scan the location as they would previously, but now rather than making a manual decision about where to put those items, the system will generate those recommendations for you. And then from here, you'll be able to drill in and put this item away. It'll show you where you're putting it away from, where it thinks the item should go into, and then you'll have the option to scan the destination location as well as the item, just to validate that you are putting away the right thing into the right place.
Excellent. Well, thank you for this overview of the put away feature, Matt.
No problem.
And this brings our Innovation Forum summer release for Peoplevox to a close. Thank you so much for spending the time with us. We look forward to seeing you next quarter for another edition of our fall Innovation Forum. Until then, take care.